And this news broke late yesterday. Billionaire, wow, he looks evil there, doesn't he? Billionaire investor Mark Cuban is selling a majority stake of the Dallas Mavericks to Miriam Adelson and her family.
With many NBA fans thinking the famous NBA owner, Mark Cuban, would never sell the Dallas Mavericks, the billionaire recently sold his majority stake in the Mavs, 23 years after he bought the team. Why did he though? Well, join me as I walk you through the real reason Mark Cuban had to sell his beloved Dallas Mavericks. The start of a new era.
The drought has lasted far too long for Maverick fans. They've been screaming for some kind of change for years now. And one of those fans screaming the loudest is about to be the team's new majority owner.
This is a business, but it's a business that I'm willing to commit as much money as it takes, whatever energy, funding, to make this team successful.
The man is billionaire entrepreneur Mark Cuban.
Without a doubt, Mark Cuban is arguably the most famous NBA owner. After all, you don't see many NBA team owners on the sidelines like you see the billionaire. Back in November 1999, the passionate Mavs fan who was a season ticket holder had decided to buy the team as he could not believe their game wasn't sold out. As such, he had to wait 6 weeks later to splash $285 million to buy the team. In his words, he bought the team because he thought he could make it better and sell more tickets. Prior to the tech billionaire's purchase, the Dallas Mavericks were simply bad. 20 years before the purchase, the team won only 40% of their games and had a playoff record of 21-32. The only thing they ever won in the 90s was the award for the worst professional sports franchise. That just wasn't me, and I wasn't writing that big of a check just to stand around. It was a big investment, and I was going to do all I can to get the most out of it, Cuban said. And true to his word, he didn't sit around like most billionaire owners who sit in their luxury boxes and watch the bottom line. Cuban sat close to the team's bench during their games, attended almost all practices, traveled to almost all away games on his private jet, and even made his email address public by regularly responding to fan emails about ways they could improve the game day experience. Whether it was the business side or a basketball-related one, he was involved in it all, or at least kept informed of it. Mark Cuban did a complete renovation of the locker room, provided catering after practices and games, purchased a 757 jet for team travel, and invested in cutting-edge statistical and analytical research to help with scouting. He was, in fact, their biggest cheerleader, and he has racked up $4 million in fines to show for it.
And the celebration will begin. The Dallas Mavericks are NBA champions. The first title in franchise history.
Come here, Jet! Come here, Jet! Come here, Jet! I love you too,
Speechless. It was great, and I also got to say, the fans that came down here made a huge difference. The guys really responded to that, so it was special.
And even more than that, he has the Dallas Mavericks, first and only NBA championship to show for it. Prior to his purchase, the Dallas Mavericks missed the playoffs for 10 consecutive seasons. And after he bought the team, they made it to the NBA Finals in 2006, but lost to the Miami Heat before winning a rematch in 2011. Mark Cuban landing the Mavs their first championship did nothing but set the team on the map and inspire a sense of pride in the team's local fans. Post-championship era. Having an owner who lives and breathes basketball has taken the Dallas Mavericks from the league's laughingstock to one of the NBA's elite teams. The fan base is one to envy, as the Dallas Mavericks holds the record for the longest and most active all-time NBA sellout streaks. The Mavs' home arena, the American Airlines Center, has been packed to capacity with screaming Mavericks fans for 935 straight games and still counting. In the 2001-2002 season, the Mavs were placed 14th in the NBA in terms of attendance in the 2001-2002 season, but they are now currently ranked first in the league. The team and Mark Cuban have been able to achieve all of this, despite their failed attempt at getting back to the NBA Finals since 2011. In fact, between the 2017 and 2019 NBA seasons, the Mavs failed to make it to the playoffs for 3 consecutive seasons. It wasn't until the 2022 playoff series that they made it to the Western Conference Finals and passed the first round of the playoffs since their championship run in 2011. Yet they formed a loyal fan base thanks to Mark Cuban's tenacity and involvement in the team. He has proven time and time again to do what's best for the team as he turned his $285 million team into a team valued by Forbes at $4.5 billion, the 7th most valuable team in the NBA. It's not only basketball to him, it's a show, and he definitely fits in it. He's a showman. He loves it, Dirk Nowitzki said about Mark Cuban. Now, unfortunately, after owning and turning the fortunes of the Dallas Mavericks in 23 years, Mark Cuban has finally sold a majority stake in the Dallas Mavericks at a $3.5 billion valuation. New owner, Mark Cuban, finally sells. He sold it to Dr. Miriam Adelson and the Adelson family, owners of Las Vegas Sands, the world's largest casino company. And surprisingly, Cuban is set to maintain complete control of basketball operations for the team. So why did he sell his beloved team? Did he no longer believe in the long-term growth of the NBA? Or did he need some cash to finance more ventures? Well, keep watching to find out. Anyway, Miriam Adelson, who has an estimated net worth of $32.3 billion and is the 5th richest woman in the world, would instantly be one of the NBA's wealthiest owners. To get the NBA team, she had to sell $2 billion worth of stock, and yet she won't be running the team day to day. So why buy the team from a basketball junkie like Mark Cuban, only to let him have full control of basketball operations? Why Mark Cuban had to sell the Dallas Mavericks? Well, the honest truth is that this deal is shocking, yet not entirely surprising. As of last year, Mark Cuban had admitted that he was hoping to partner with Las Vegas Sands to build a new resort and casino around the team's next arena. In simple terms, the deal was to put the Mavs in a better position to compete. For context, the Dallas Mavericks' current arena, American Airlines Center, is more than 20 years old, and building a new arena with a resort and casino will definitely add tremendous value to the franchise while also benefiting the state via jobs, tourism, and taxes. For years now, the Adelson family has been trying to legalize casinos in Texas. Miriam Adelson, for instance, donated more than $2 million to Texas political campaigns last year, and Las Vegas Sands hired 89 lobbyists in Texas, the most ever. Several other prominent Texas leaders like Tillman Fertitta, owner of the Houston Rockets and Golden Nugget Hotel and Casino, and Jerry Jones, the owner of the Dallas Cowboys, have donated millions to Texas political campaigns in the last 12 months. So it is only a matter of time before it gets legalized, and Mark Cuban is looking to use the Adelson family's influence to make Dallas a commercial stop for even away fans. I think what is misunderstood about the bill is that it is not a gambling bill as much as a tourism bill. Gambling is certainly a hook, but the real value to the state is to be a destination that people around the country and the world plan a year in advance and save to go to. Texas is an amazing state, but there are not destinations that families, weddings, conferences, and events dream of going to all year round. Ask your out-of-state friends how often they have saved up to bring their family to Texas, Mark Cuban stated earlier this year. Now, the multi-billionaire went on to say that the American Airlines Center would eventually need to be rebuilt, and that many Dallas residents are already breaking the law by traveling 80 miles into Oklahoma to gamble, and the 22 other states with commercial casinos are making billions in additional taxes each year. Therefore, to offset the loss of media money to the city and team and finance the current and future Mavs, Dallas must not become a desirable destination stop for many sports and gambling lovers. I think if a resort casino's pass, Dallas becomes a top 5 travel destination in the country, Cuban stated. So what happens to the Mavs after? I strongly doubt that there is a sports owner who has sold a team and still maintained control, so in all honesty, it's a win-win situation for both the Mavs and Mark Cuban. But nevertheless, at the moment, the Mavs are heading into an unknown future. After the sale, as little is known about Cuban's functions in the franchise, as he has become less influential in the front office since he hired Nico Harrison as general manager in 2021. Harrison has so far brought a much more rigid structure to the team than it had in the past under former general manager Donnie Nelson. Whatever the case, a billionaire backing like the Adelson family and the vision of Mark Cuban is sure to see the star duo of Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving get better role players as well as teammates, strong enough to land the Mavericks their second championship. One can only wonder what the Mavs could do with a brand new, privately financed $1 billion arena downtown with a casino crowd. Nevertheless, since his intentions to sell got out, some NBA fans have had their piece to say. One user commented, "Mark Cuban is a business genius. Dude probably wants a win-win for himself and Dallas." Another user was far less impressed and voiced the opinions of many when they commented, "So his answer is to get a casino and not a TV deal that people can watch? Makes sense." Anyway, Mavs fans can only hope that their basketball fan owner selling the team turns out to be a good gamble. Now, if you enjoyed this video, then the next video on your screen is also worth your time.